Hey, I'm Dave Nielsen from Birmingham, Alabama in the United States, and I came after having a 15-year illness. The first 5 years I was undiagnosed, did not know what I was fighting. The last 10 years I found out it was Lyme disease, or as I refer to it, the silent killer. And so I was struggling with many different things and having 10 years of going to multiple doctors, and had doctors basically tell me I was a depressed hypochondriac. It wasn't real, it was in my head. I found myself to be very frustrated, but I now knew what I was battling, and it was Lyme disease. And the symptoms that I was experiencing started with extreme fatigue, rapid fatigue, more in my muscles. I was a speaker and I was singing, and my vocal cords got tired, and I just became weak and tired. Whether it was holding a microphone, my voice became tired, and then it became physically. I had strength, but I lacked stamina, and I could not go for long periods of time. And then it became not just in the muscles and the joints, and then it became in a brain fog. I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't remember things, became extremely light sensitive. I was irritated by noise, background noise. It got to where I didn't want to go to a restaurant. I couldn't take bright lights, couldn't take a lot of movement. And so once I found out what I was fighting, then I began to try different methods back in the States. And after multiple methods and multiple drugs, antibiotics, strong antibiotics, a couple times a day for several months, I was feeling worse, and it wasn't helping me. I became very discouraged, defeated, to be quite candid, and to be totally transparent, I began to battle some depression, which is not my personality or temperament, but I was beginning to have a lot of question marks and really no answers. So after experiencing these things for several years, my wife is the one who became very proactive to secure help for me, because as she said, she was watching her husband die right before her eyes. And so you can imagine when your husband's weak and tired and you take on a third responsibility of 2 children and now a husband. My wife began to do the research. She found this clinic online. She began to inquire. She sent this information to my primary medical doctor, who also did the research. And upon those coming together, they brought it to me, and we green-lighted it and brought me here to Larnaca, and I'm so grateful that we did. Let me share just a word from personal experience on what I valued here. I came in apprehensive and was uncertain, a lot of question marks, but very quickly the staff was professional and friendly, polite. That's a given. I was grateful for that. Felt home and comfortable, taken care of. But there was a lot of questions as you go into the different kinds of treatment, what to expect. But I got into the chamber. I was in the chamber almost every day of my therapy, and I could speak to that it's a comfortable environment. And you're maintained all the way through. Comfortable chairs, you have opportunity for entertainment there, and plus you have the relationship with the people that you're going through therapy with. So I was very grateful for that. It's not just a professional, but it was also personable. And so then when you build rapport after being in the treatment, you have a relationship where it's not just, quote, a nurse sticking you with a needle, but it's somebody who actually cares. This isn't just a career, it's a calling. They're here because they truly care about the patients, and that's evident and obvious by the style of their treatment, but also by the personal experience. So I had needles in me every day, and if something happened, they were quick to rectify if there was a challenge. But I found myself very confident that I was in good hands relative to the medical procedure. I also experienced the vitamins that were given to me, the different vitamin cocktails, vitamin C, glutathione, the different things, and they were very much informative along the way. I was never wondering, okay, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? It's a very proactive, comprehensive experience for me, not one that's reactive and uncertain. Let me speak to my takeaways from being here. I came in here being very honest. I'm a 6'5", 300-pound guy, and my first day I walked in here, candidly, I was in tears. I was weak, I was tired, my body was aching, my brain was not clear, and I can say that after my first couple of weeks, I began to wake up going, hey. And the noticeable difference for me is I say that I struggle with brain fog, I struggle with muscle fatigue, muscle pain, joint pain. Within the first couple of weeks, it was radical, the difference in the inflammation in my body, the swelling in my joints, the fatigue in my joints, the mental clarity that I had lacked, those were evident and obvious within the first couple of weeks. And as I continued to progress through it, I found myself more encouraged. It's kind of like I got momentum on the positive side, and I looked forward every day to coming to therapy, because when I leave, I'd feel, although my body was fighting, my body began to wake up, if you will. So my body was working full time based on the things that were happening. I was experiencing the vitamins coming into my body. I was experiencing the ozone, the chamber, and all the things it's designed to do. So now my body began to working. So today I sit here having just completed my 5th week, 1 week to go. And I have no swelling in my joints. I have no pain in my fingers and my hands, because it was painful for me to just put weight on my feet. To touch anything with my fingers was uncomfortable. The weight of my legs, it just felt like I was dragging concrete cinder blocks. All that has greatly dissipated, even to the point when I communicate with family and friends via technology back home. It's evidenced not just in what they see, but how I sound, my whole energy level. So I was so grateful that I found this place, because today I feel way better. If I may speak to the investment, the time and the resources, we're stewards of our time, our talents, and our treasures. And up front, I struggled with the time commitment of 6 weeks. I'm a husband, I'm a daddy, I'm involved in people's lives. So leaving that was a challenge, but it's worth it. The sacrifice for the short term, for the benefit of the long term, really made an incredible difference for me. So I'm excited about my return home to do the things I do. And I would say, if you're one that's contemplating, should I do that? Should I leave the comforts of wherever home is and do it? It would be worth it. Is there a financial obligation? Absolutely. But I can tell you, having researched and had other programs that I tried that were unsuccessful back in the States, the cost of those things and the convenience of securing them were astronomical, where I would have to go to different locations in different cities in different states with multiple travel costs and multiple doctors. And then you have the insurance situation, where many times they don't want to cover it because it's Lyme disease, or people don't have the treatment protocols for it. So I would strongly exhort and encourage you, the time commitment to come across the pond or for wherever you are, to come and be in a secure location for 6 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever your protocol would demand, it's worth it. Sacrifice in the short term for the benefit of the long term. And this was a major sacrifice for us financially to do that. But when I look at the return on investment, it's priceless, invaluable.